The Go Team. I have one of their records.
They have a new album.
I know.
Hello. Sorry, I'm bad with the intro. Welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys,
Hello.
welcome.
You being bad with the intro again. Bad with the intro.
You know what? I'm going to blame it on going to Alamo Draft House in the afternoon, having a few brewskis to see Cocaine Bear. That's what I'm blaming.
I'm okay. That was the correct excuse.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll get into the Cocaine Bear thing in a minute, but you kept saying you're going to H Mart. What is H Mart?
So H Mart is this amazing Asian market that is in a lot of major cities in the U.S. Have you guys never been to one?
What's it called? H Mart?
Yeah, H Mart.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. Yeah, we have something called 888 here. That's our big, huge Asian marketplace. But I've never heard of H Mart.
You walk in and you're immediately hit with the smell of fish.
Yeah.
And it's just all imported amazingness. Yeah.
Everything's live. There's a whole section of live stuff.
Live stuff. Yeah. Some stuff I'm like, wow, how is this being sold? Like, they sell stuff like shark there, turkey necks, like all kinds of shit. It's amazing. And packaged beautifully, I may add.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, Beth goes to 888 like every other week because they have cheap vegetables there. So it's
I was gonna say the pricing there is great, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, can't beat an Asian market, that's for sure.
Sorry, all you rural listeners out there,
yes,
you cannot
never know the joys of an Asian market, let alone a mid-sized market with
It's so good.
So I was watching. We went to church today. Jefferson's for wings.
I was gonna say, can you tell the listeners what?
Preface that for our viewers.
Sorry, and they had many TVs.
A lot of tempers out there. All right.
They had a lot. They have many TVs because it's a sports bar essentially. And one thing was actually pretty funny. Somebody was trying to change. Somebody asked to watch a game or something, I assume, and the guy. I could see the guy over there, and he was using one of the controllers, because there's like 15 controllers. They just set them up on the thing. And when he went to the thing that it defaulted to was 3 girls share 10 inches, and it was a porno. That was the title. Now it wasn't showing, but it was the name of the movie. It was like 3 girls share 10 inches, and I was like,
ooh.
Okay. Anyway, he was like, click, 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 change. But anyway, they had the Columbine on, and the Columbine is in your town, Matt. Have you ever gone to the Columbine? Combine, sorry, yeah.
I think the Columbine was
I was gonna say the Columbine
was terrible.
is.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Yeah.
the Combine, however. Indianapolis doesn't need this shit, Tyson. Come on, man. Come on.
You just need a decent quarterback and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, the Combine, which is you probably understand what it is. They've done it here for the last several years, and essentially it's kind of like it's like kind of just an open day where
it's a bunch of college football, NFL prospects. They go, and so the part that we were watching was that they were running the 40. And so it was just dudes like running the 40, just over and over again. But it was almost hypnotic. You couldn't kind of stop watching it. It was weird because they would run. They get 2 chances, and it was weird. I saw 3 people get the exact same time, like 4.67. I mean, they get the same exact time. It reminded me when I took the ACTs for the second time and I got the same score, and I was so pissed off.
That would piss me off too.
Yeah.
Now, Tyson, how much harder did you try?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. I actually took tutoring lessons in math 2 weeks before that, like for 2 weeks before I went, and I got the exact same math score because I am not a scientist. Everybody, that's a bottom line.
Sorry, well.
But anyway, it was super irritating, to go. It's like, I don't want to say kissing your cousin or anything like that, but it's like you go and
It's a process.
you get the same score twice. You're like,
It
I
is,
waste so
yeah,
much time. Like
Ugh.
especially when
who
you
gives a shit?
genuinely tried and
I
Yeah.
did, and I got the same, and I kind of half-ass tried the first
Yeah, that bliss.
right, and you're like, God damn it, I'm just gonna have to use a calculator, and
time.
you moved on. You moved on.
I did. Now I have a question for you. So there's a thing, and I was telling my wife today about this: the Dane G. Hansen Scholarship. Did you
Oh,
guys do that?
not only have I heard of it, I'm a recipient,
I
Tyson.
knew it.
Me too.
Uh,
I
Yeah.
knew it.
Did
Good
you
job, guys.
did you do it? I mean, okay. So this is what I was telling Beth. I was like, we went to a room in Fort Hays State, and we had to take a test, and then
Uh-huh.
um, there was a huge part to write an essay. So they gave you like 4 or 5 blank sheets of paper to write an essay. No lines, if I
Right.
remember correctly. And
Right.
anyway, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what you got. I got $1,500 and a pat on the ass, and I was like, thanks.
I got
Oh,
like
that's sweet.
whatever whatever the silver award was. I think so. It wasn't. I think that's what I got. It wasn't. But it was like. But like honestly, like Fort Hays, like at the time, was so incredibly affordable
Yeah,
that like that paid for like 2 freaking semesters, like
mine,
whatever it
yeah,
was. Like yeah,
mine,
like it
mine,
was.
Back in
mine,
the day, yeah.
mine
Yeah,
covered 1.5. Yeah, it was.
yeah, like which was incredible. I mean, this was 96, so I don't want to do the math because I know Tyson can't. So let's just assume that it's been a while.
Hey now,
But
How
yeah, but I
much
mean,
was
like,
it in Tyson
yeah, but no, I
units?
mean, my like, I remember my first like tuition check, like when I was like getting classes and like it was a physical actual check. Was like $1,200 and some dollars for my first semester at Fort Hays
yeah,
State
that's what.
University.
Yeah, mine was
Like,
Nice.
basically
yeah,
like
for like
oh,
15 hours, like
yeah,
which is just
yeah, that's crazy
That's
now.
way more than they gave us art kids. God
no,
damn it. Surprise,
but it was
surprise.
like I don't know who this Dane G. Hansen guy is, but thank
Did
you.
you
Shout out to Dane. Shout
Yeah,
out to Dane.
now? I had to go to the Dane G. Johnson Foundation, wherever the fuck that was in Western Kansas, and do an interview. Did you do that?
I didn't remember
Jesus.
that. Like, because I remember mine being tied to my ACT score.
Mm.
But I don't know if that was the only contributor. I mean, I may that's possible, but I don't remember it.
I went. I was yeah. So I went to this meeting, and it was like you get into this area, and there's like 5 very elderly people, the trustee board or whatever. And I went
Uh-huh.
inside, and they're like, "Tell us what you want to do." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm really into this thing. I've been recording music. Like I would like to write songs. So like you can go and do this thing where you can record stuff and then add stuff on top of it and build a whole thing." And they're like, "Really? What's that like?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's really interesting. And I don't know what I want to do, but I'm enjoying this." And they're like, "Well, that's really interesting." And they kept me like, I was supposed to be in there for 5 minutes, and they kept me like 7 minutes. Um, and then my friend who drove up with me only got 2 minutes, and he was
Oh
pissed.
shit.
He was
That's
pissed,
not good.
pissed. Well, as it turns out, he got the full ride scholarship, and I got $1,500, so it was fine. It was
You know,
fine. That's fine. You know,
It's fine.
but
I'm
yeah,
glad. I'm so glad you brought this up because I get so few like limited opportunities to talk about my academic accomplishments, and
yeah,
that was it.
that was it.
So
Yeah,
yeah, that was it.
yeah. I had
That was
one.
the. That was the. I was like, got that letter in the mail. Like, really? And yeah, so that was it.
I remember taking that test in that room in Fort Hays State, and I remember thinking there were so many more people in there than there were when I was doing the ACT, and I was just like, "This is so weird. Like, what is everybody trying? Who is Dane G. Hansen first off, and why is he giving us money?" And you can Wikipedia the guy. It's pretty interesting. But anyway, uh, sorry. This all
All
You
happened.
jokes
know,
fair
I have
now.
This
no
all happened
idea how
because
we
we
got
were
into
watching.
that conversation, but that's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
we all got into it because I was watching Combine, and somehow that connected something or other to my brain. And anyway, good work, Tyson's brain. Yeah, sorry.
Well done. Well
Yeah,
done.
I know. Yeah. Uh, so Matt, you lived without the internet for a week. How
I
was
did
that?
live
You
without the
did.
internet for exactly a week.
Did
So
you take up like crocheting or anything like that?
I did not. I
Okay.
did
What a
not.
missed opportunity.
Now
I know.
I want to clarify a little bit of that. I still like had like internet on my phone, but it was just like my the hotspot, like I had a hotspot, but it only had like 5 gigs or whatever. So that quickly ran out. And so long story short, AT&T was, I wanted to upgrade my internet speed. And so I called them, and somebody came out, and he was very professional and very helpful.
Uh-huh.
And it worked great for 24 hours, then it stopped. And then I called and explained the situation. And so a couple days later, they have someone else come out, and they look at it, and they're like, oh, yes, he connected you to an invalid line. And so the system identified you as an illegal connection and deactivated you after 24 hours.
Oh,
And I was
geez.
like, well, that's unfortunate. And so so what happened was they thought that they had like a limited number of, I just imagine these as much like George W. Bush imagined these as a series of tubes that go into a box. So I'm talking about, I imagine this is a series of tube, and I've got a straw going. And so apparently what happened is that they disconnected my straw from the line that was real and connected it to like basically like a temporary test straw that basically said, hey, nothing's ever supposed to be hooked up to this. Stop it, cut it out. Well, while that was happening, my straw got assigned to somebody else, and they ran out of connecting straws.
What?
So they had to open up a technical ticket. So a technician had to come out, an engineer, they called it, sorry. Technicians are the people that come out to your home. They wear the little boots. They put on these little plastic,
Yeah,
like sort of felty, to make sure, to give you the
condoms.
illusion that they're not going to fuck up anything about your house.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But when they like drop a hammer on your hardwood, hypothetical, but so anyway, so they tell me that the engineering ticket is logged. He says, yeah, it's like, unfortunately, it's going to be 1 to 2 weeks before you have internet again.
Ugh.
I'm like, that is just like, and as ridiculous as it sounds like, it's so whiny, and it's such a first world problem. But like, I use a lot of, it's my work from home. Like, I watch a lot of television.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like your livelihood.
Right.
Come on.
I have no common knowledge. I just let Echo do all my thinking for me. And and I really do miss these things when your internet is out. They did, to AT&T's incredibly limited credit, they did get it fixed quicker than they expected. So I was only without internet for a week. Still don't have the upgraded speed. But the weird thing is, I found this fascinating, is like, I had a huge problem with them 5 or 6 years ago when I first got their service. And I won't go into that, but both of the technicians that came out had someone they called their shadow, and they're like, yeah, that's our shadow. And I was like, oh, okay. And so like, it was basically like someone who was driving along. It's like not HR, but like a customer service like rep.
Okay.
But what they've done is they've merged their customer service reps with their salespeople, which is kind of a smart idea, because it does like
you learn on the job.
They loop you in,
Yeah.
so you are hearing the complaint. So it's incredibly easy. This is one thing I've noticed. It's really easy to get somebody on the phone now, but they will always try to upsell you, like every single president. Well, anyway, technicians are great. Usually they're pretty knowledgeable, like, younger kids, or just, really smart individuals, fun to talk to. But like, they'll have this guy kind of lurking out in like, like something. And like, as soon as they leave, like this person pops up. And they're just like, oh, hey, how was your visit today? And, I'm just chatting. Like,
wow.
Both technicians that I talked to, like, referred to it as like, oh, yeah, there's my shadow. And, like, sort of wink, wink, oh, I hate this person. So, like, it was kind of weird, because, like, both of them were comfortable enough telling me basically, like, yes, I absolutely hate them. And I'm like, I would hate that, too. Like,
too.
If somebody's job was to, like, if you gave a presentation and then immediately following someone goes like, all right, how did he do? I want to know everything. I'm going to personally interview you, possibly for longer than the actual, like, that's so.
It's a bit much.
Like, so again, like, it's like a weird mixed bag. Like, so I think their customer service is a lot better, but like at the same time, like, I don't know. I felt bad for the guys because they did really, So,
yeah, I mean,
anyway.
that's what a phone survey is for, right? I mean, that's,
right.
Give me a 5.
Right. And it was a weird, and like, they just sort of showed up and like didn't like give me any indication of what they wanted me to do for them. Like, they just sort of stood there and like, so how, and I was like, okay. And I was like, and I said, literally, like,
aggressive.
Would you like to come in? She's like, yeah. And so I was like, like, do you have any questions for me? It was just very weird. It was very weird.
Bizarre.
It was very bizarre. Anyway, I have internet, which I'm thankful for. It
What do
may
you?
get
What do? You,
faster in the future, but
yeah. What is? What are
I'm
you
okay.
upgrading to? What are you?
I have well, thank you for asking, Tyson. I have
You're
the
welcome.
gigabit
Okay.
plan. I was upgrading to the 5 gigabit.
Oh
So
shit.
yes, so a dramatic, and well, it's funny you mentioned that, Tyson, because Tyson knows, but the AT&T representative who came out was like, it's like, oh, you're upgrading to the 5 gigabit. It's like that's an awful lot of bandwidth for for a private residence. I was like, oh, well, I usually have a lot of people over here with a lot of devices. I didn't, tell him about
Oh my
Plex, but
god.
All
yeah,
right.
tell him about
Right.
Plex.
Yeah, usually I have like a team of people. We don't have a daisy chain anymore because it's too hard. But uh, you know, it's funny. We have Google Fiber, which is available in
Oh,
Kansas
you do have
City.
the fiber, yeah, because you're in one of
It's so nice.
the nice areas,
It
yeah,
is
Yeah.
really nice. I have to admit,
yeah.
like it's like, and it's like it's crazy fast and like, and I I bought I can actually hook it up directly to my computer and make it even faster, but the stuff that I use it for, I don't need it to be faster on my computer, really. I mean, if I get my downloads a little bit faster, it still doesn't really matter. So, I mean, but anyway, do love the Google Fiber. Probably will when we move, we'll move to a place that is available at, you know,
Where
just
the
because it's not
fiber
available.
is,
It's
The
not
fiber. Okay.
yeah, it's not
yeah.
available everywhere in Kansas City, but they're expanding it. But Kansas City was one of the first cities that actually got the Google
I
Fiber.
was gonna
That's
say,
right.
yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah.
Lucky, lucky.
It is, yeah, it's great. Like I don't know, if I want to see some really dumb stuff really fast, I can see. It. Thank you, internet.
It's true. That's true. That's why I've always said about sort of rural broadband. Like, I've never understood why the Democrats make rural broadband a priority because, like, you don't want the stupid to get out quicker. Like, I'm like, don't encourage these people. Like, broadband is like what made Donald Trump happen. Why are we,
Well, it's weird because like most, like a lot of people, a lot of people get this broadband stuff. They're doctors. They get like high res scans of like X-rays or
right,
MRI stuff or things
right.
like that. So I mean, I understand why they did it. I mean,
No, I understand. There's a you know
what was the thing
important
called
reasons.
ISDN? Do you remember that ISDN?
I stand.
It was like 256K modems combined together. Uh,
D shit.
DSL?
There
What
was
was it called?
DSL. Yes, there was DSL. ADSL or
ADSL. We got
yes.
that in one of our houses in Florida because we were trying. Well, it was Super Dave and
Hmm.
kids. They wanted to be on the cutting edge. It was $120 a month, and it gave us slightly faster internet. It was ridiculous. It was,
We had in because I was going to college in Lawrence in 90, I think it was 97, 98, and Sunflower, which has been renamed and cut up and all kinds
Yeah.
of things since
yeah,
then, but Sunflower was the local cable provider for ages. They were one of the ones that offered cable internet, and so we had broadband like in our house like in like 97, which was incredible. I
Wow.
mean, it didn't
that
hit
is
most of the
crazy.
country until
Yeah.
2000, so
Yeah.
so good times, good times. Still the stealing shit off the internet. And
Matt used to live in a place that I don't remember what the place was called. You remember that house you lived in with your brother and the two roommates?
Hutton Farms.
And the
They didn't
house was
grow. They didn't
Or
grow anything. Actually,
the
nothing
house
was
was
grown.
kind the house was kind of the house was kind of cheaply built. And one time I was using the toilet in his house, and I just reached over to the
I like how you qualified with this that the house was cheaply built before
well.
you told
yeah.
this
Was
tale
this
of
a house in
You told me,
Lawrence?
well, yeah, but here's the deal. Like, so you told me that, Matt, before this happened.
I'm sure I should. I'm sure. Fair
And
enough.
I was trying to stand up, and I don't know, I just put my hand just to base myself on, just to get some balance on the toilet paper dispenser, and it just fell right off the fucking wall. And
Oh shit.
I was like, oh crap. And I was like,
I
I don't
get
know.
what he's been saying.
And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't have any money to fix this, so I just pushed it back in. Uh, So
Was that
sorry,
the
man.
house with the amazing bathroom? I'm just
It
trying to get a
was. It
visual.
was.
Oh,
That
It
was
was.
the.
It was. It was. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that place.
Yeah, the weirdly like huge bathroom and the photo.
The
Yeah,
photo.
we
Yeah.
took
Yeah.
the photo. Yeah,
That is still Smith's background photo on Faceplace, as I found out this week. It's
I haven't
perfect.
been there. I
Our
haven't been
friend
there
Travis
since.
is on the
Yes,
toilet.
you.
Chrissy and I are in the bathtub. Tyson's in the shower with a beer, and Smith is taking a picture with a digital
I'm
camera
taking a selfie
in
because
the mirror.
this was the you have to take yourself back to a place known as 2007
Oh yeah,
when the music was good and the living was easy. But like this is like like when selfies with the huge digital camera in the bathroom or like in the mirror was just like a big thing, and
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Well, that was a
before
pretty
we had
epic
Priceless.
smartphones.
selfie. To be fair,
It
It
was.
was.
pretty good.
It
It
is
was.
my finest artistic contribution. I think.
We spent way too much time in that bathroom that day. Like I want to say like 3 hours.
I don't think it was. Yeah, maybe
It was
it's
a long
possible. It's
time.
possible.
We were
It was
just
like
drinking in
a nice
there,
bathroom. That
taking
we
pictures.
finally gave that bathroom the respect that it deserved. Like that was a
Yeah, I mean,
weird ass giant bathroom.
that is one of the only pictures you'll see me not wearing a shirt in from that time
That,
period. I was
it is.
Tyson
I
is
shook
not.
my
He was
head.
such a good sport. You're just like angrily drinking a beer in it too. So good.
It
Yeah.
was. I believe it was a Keystone, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's nothing like
Yeah, I believe it
there's
was a Keystone.
nothing like a shower beer, to get your day going.
Kids,
Oh, we gotta put that picture in a T-shirt for the kids. We get a store going.
shower beer.
Shower beer.
That's a great way to start the day.
It
Yeah.
is. It
Especially
is.
a Keystone. It fits the profile.
Especially a Keystone.
God.
It can only go up from here.
I'd rather drink mouthwash. Just saying.
Well, if you're drinking Keystone and you run out of Keystone, mouthwash is an acceptable, chaser.
That'll work.
I
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah, for sure.
I wanted to ask you. Thought of this question was in the liquor store the other day. Have either of you tried the like no carb like Bud 55s or like the sort of ultra like low carb beers that they've been pushing? Like I
Well,
know I'm talking
We
like
talked about it last week, and I've
55 was
yeah.
voted the worst of the
yeah
beers. Now, my mom likes the Ultra, the Michelob Ultra, and
yeah
Oh,
right
she does.
she does, and
Yeah.
it's not bad actually. It's malty, as far as low carb beer goes, it's fine. Um, uh, but I've tried some of those. I mean, I don't know.
Now it just seemed
I
like
don't
there were
know.
like 3 or 4 of them that I was just like, oh, I was like, this is like a thing that's happening now. So like the whole
Well,
no
it's been
carb.
happening for a while. You're just not on Atkins anymore, Matt.
Okay,
Those Atkins
it's
people
true.
they're going crazy for that stuff.
Mainline
I
and
love it.
bacon and Michelob Ultra. Just good
Yeah, it
stuff.
takes some.
Yummy. Yeah, it's quite the diet.
Yeah, it's quite the diet.
I think I remember from the footage, like that Murdoch kid, Paul Murdoch. You guys have been following that
Oh,
child,
absolutely.
right?
Yes,
Oh
yes.
Paul. Yeah.
yeah. He used to funnel Michelob Ultras or something like that, or Michelob Lights. Yeah.
How long?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Like I was trying to figure out, and I've been looking. 'Cause I think they deliberated for like less than 2 hours, and they were just like,
I think it was like
guilty.
I thought it was like less than 4 or 5, but yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah, it was pretty quick. It was a defense attorney's like sort of oh shit. Yeah, it was within that time frame. So
I think
yeah,
I think I saw something, and the guy was like, one of the jurors was like, well, when we got in there, like 8 of us were like, he's guilty. 2 of them were like, he's not guilty, and then 2 of them were like, I don't know. And then they just kind of fucking just busted through it. I mean, obviously, he probably killed them, right? I mean, like it just seems.
Well, it's pretty apparent, and I've seen both of the documentary series now.
There's a new
the one on the one on Netflix, and then there was one on HBO.
Yeah, I watched the
that
one
went
on
a
HBO.
little more in depth. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
what
think
was the
that's
one
a
that-
better one.
what was the one that just came out? Because we just watched the
That's
one
the
that
one
just
on Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, which that was in there. It's interesting because that one, the time frame, because the original one I think was released several months ago, and so the interesting one about the Netflix one is like there's a lot of repetition, but there's also some kind of new information because it's just more time's elapsed and it gets closer to the trial. But that was one thing I was hoping it really didn't get to as much as like what did connect him to the murders.
Well, there's some video. There's some video out there with his voice.
And that was yes, that was the kind of the one piece, and they did
the
address that
timestamp on it. Yeah,
and that was interesting because they're saying that like that douchebag of a somebody had ultimately probably identified his father as the killer for recording that sort of segment of the video. So a really fascinating, just really just interesting case.
One of the craziest fucking rich white people getting away with shit until they don't stories.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
They said the judge said that he took down the pictures of his grandfather, who was a judge in that courtroom.
Right.
They did
no
the case.
Shit.
Well, remember they did the case. So the one that I watched on HBO Max, they talked about how there were pictures of his family, that had been these lawyers in town, and one of them was a judge or whatever. And so they took whatever relatives' pictures down from the courtroom during the trial. It seemed weird to me that they actually did that trial, which I know that's how trials work, but it just seems like it was such a bigger deal than to be had at some tiny little courthouse. Like it'd be like having a major murder trial at Joaquini's courthouse. It's like
yeah.
But
that's a good point.
That's how the law works, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I was like, it didn't take very long. They're just like, he's guilty. I think one of the guys, like, I think one of the prosecuting attorneys was like, even if you don't convict him, he's going to jail for the rest of his life for all his goddamn fraud that he did, in the last.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, this
laundry list of bullshit.
He wrote out his bad times as far as he possibly could, and then he killed his family. So I was like,
and getting in the weeds a little bit here, but Buster Murdaugh, like I thought, which is the eldest son, I believe. So, and I thought I saw a photo of him in the courtroom. Was he in the courtroom?
I think he was in the courtroom.
I think he was.
Okay.
Nancy Grace was sitting behind him.
Oh, are you fucking serious?
Not joking.
Grace? I thought.
God, she's a fucking terrible person.
I know.
Oh, she really is. So that dude was like sort of like not quite on the lam, but like he was like, I mean, but like he's also sort of like there's a couple other open murders still.
The people the people that that he or whatever he hit on the road,
yes,
the guy,
he might. I mean, he might be responsible for that. I mean, it's so weird.
Well, didn't they find new evidence about it and then reopen that case?
I think that's right. Yeah, I think that is correct. Is that they did reopen it because was that the one that they got? What do they call it when they excavate the body and
exhumed
the body?
Exhumed the body.
I think one of those cases they got the exhumation on. So
because I mean, didn't they say that like he died from like a car wreck, but really what happened was he got the shit kicked out of him until he died.
Right? Well, blunt force trauma to his head. And the way he was positioned in the road, it was like there's no way he got hit by a car.
Right.
Shoes were still on. Like there's just a bunch of evidence to say otherwise. So
that's a good point. Like I did not know that when you get hit by a car, your shoes will be popped off. That's a good thing to know. It's like knowing that you're gonna void your bowels when you die. It's just something to keep in mind if you're gonna die.
Listeners, be aware. Yeah. Tie those shoes real tight and crossing the street.
Tie those shoes tight and they don't wear a fucking diaper.
Actually, it is true. I did get hit by a car, as you both know, and my shoes did fly off.
No kidding.
Did they really?
I can attest to that. Yeah, they did.
Wow.
What a weird fucking side effect.
It must be a science reason.
Strange. It has to be.
It's almost cartoonish, like if you get hit by a car and it's like your head goes.
Yeah, it's like boink.
Your shoes go plop.
There goes Dawson.
tumble. She's fine.
I'm pretty sure one of my friends was like, "There goes Dawson flying up in the air." Whoa, that's weird. I think she's okay. She's okay. Yay! All right.
She made a joke.
Yay.
Oh, that was a fun experience. Anyway, don't get hit by a car, kids.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been hit by a car. I was joking around once in high school, and I sat on the back of a car, and my friend didn't want me to be on the back car, so she sped up to 40, and I rolled off the back. That hurt. But my shoes stayed on. it's not quite.
Nice.
It's not quite the same as getting like Dawson got like really hit by a car. Like,
Yeah, like I curb checked and I have a fake right tooth, so yeah, it happens.
that was the thing. And one of her
Yeah.
best friends, when we were back at the 4th of July, was like recounting a story, and apparently Dawson was talking to Megan, and Dawson was like, "They had to cut my pants off. Those really cute jeans that I have." And she's like, and Megan's like, "Oh, I know those."
Megan remembered them. I literally remember being in, like, they took me in the ambulance. They asked me a bunch of questions. I was like, I don't have a concussion, like, answered all of them perfectly. Found out that the nurse in the ambulance went to high school with my dad. Then it turned into a conversation. Oh, how's your dad doing? Haven't seen him, shit like that.
Oh shit!
We
It's
get
like
to
it's
the
like the
hospital.
conversation you terrify it. Like when you go back to Hayes, like you're in Dillon's. I'm like, oh shit! It's my 4th grade teacher. Like, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Like, but you're injured. Like that's terrible.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we get to the ER and they put me on a table and they bring out these giant scissors. And I'm like, what are those for? And they're like, ma'am, we have to cut your pants and your
Man.
shirt. Yeah. And I'm like, absolutely not. I literally was like, these are my favorite pants ever. Please don't cut them. I will literally take them off for you. They were like, no, don't get off the table, man. It's protocol. So mad. I was so mad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Haters.
It's not a fun experience.
Haters.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Hating on your
That's
new
it.
jeans.
Hating on me.
That's tough to come back from, but you did good. You did fine.
You did.
Thank
You're,
you.
for the
Yeah.
most part, fully functioning. Yeah.
For the most part, that's correct.
I mean, if you're like me and buy your jeans at Old Navy, you can always get another pair. Exact same shit.
I know, but I got them at Target, and I mean, like years ago.
That's true. Which back then was like basically like another goddamn country.
That's true.
It was exactly. It was Salina. I was like, when am I going to go to Salina?
Exactly.
Whenever.
Like Salina was the commercial oasis because they had like a Best Buy.
They did.
Yeah.
An independent, like a larger independent record store, which was incredible.
They had an arcade in the mall. They had
an arcade.
They had an aquarium.
They had a fish. Yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
They did. The Sbarros.
I do believe
the Sbarros.
I
Dude.
I do believe the independent record store is still around because
House of Sight and Sound.
Yeah,
is that right?
That's it.
Okay.
Wow.
Still there
Okay.
because there's a record that I want to buy that was from a local band in Lawrence, and the only people that have vinyl copies of it is that store in Salina, which is I'm like
No kidding. That makes
they have 3 copies of it.
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
$10. I don't know why I don't pull the trigger. You know what? That's here. Hold on.
Oh, live on the air, folks. Look at this. Look at this.
Purchase
Making a list.
Exclusive.
Purchase Action Man album.
Purchase.
Jesus.
Make me proud.
Oh. There you go. Way to
all
go.
Right.
Nice.
I feel good about
That's
this.
happening.
Just
you
a
made
little
the right
dumb,
decision here.
Just a little dumb story, but I've been trying to alphabetize my my albums, and because it's not like CDs. They have that little box, and you can easily tell what's on the spine.
Yes.
Albums are really tiny, so it's really hard to tell what you're looking for the most part. And so it is embarrassing how many multiple copies of albums I've bought because I couldn't remember if I owned them. It's I'm not kidding. But it's just ridiculous. I was like,
I'm laughing, but I also know that Smith and I are going to reap the benefits, so I take the laugh back. Actually,
Right.
It's but except for one. There's one that I just looked it up. They don't print it anymore. It's worth like $250. So I'm
oh shit.
So
have I mentioned I'm turning 40 this year, and it's kind of a big deal? Just saying.
Okay, do you really want the B-sides from Pavement Slanted Enchanted album years? I mean, doesn't
no, you
no,
can
you
have
don't.
it.
Yeah.
You love Pavement. That would be mean.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have
yeah.
2, so but still, I just don't think you're gonna listen to it.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, you're
And
correct.
and I'm just gonna go say this on the record. I have one Radiohead album. Want to guess which one it is?
Pablo Honey.
That's right, Pablo Honey.
God damn it. Jesus Christ.
I love that record. I bought it. When it first came out.
You and a bunch of other guys your age. Like I told you guys about that advertising party I went to in like 2010. It was great advertising. They were having like this crazy Christmas party. And Laura Benetti and I, my recruiting partner in crime, we found these 3 creatives that we had been trying to talk to all night. I ended up getting into a 2-hour conversation with them about their favorite Radiohead album and why it was Pablo Honey.
It was Pablo Honey, really?
It was.
Yeah, I
I was
mean,
like, okay, computer, anybody? Like, it was a whole thing.
yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, like Pablo Honey sounds a lot like they don't know what they're doing yet, obviously. But
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds more like a Blur record than it does like a Radiohead record. The
Yeah.
next one, High and Dry, definitely sounds like they're on their way.
That
But
sounds, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
They're starting to figure it out. Yeah.
that's easily my second record. Although I have learned to love the OK Computer record. I must admit, but
Ah, that's good. That's
yeah,
good.
but like in Rainbows, I don't know, I don't care. But anyway,
I love
Yeah.
how quiet Smith is right now.
No. I mean, I was kind of.
What's your favorite Radiohead
I
album?
don't think a lot about Radiohead, but
yeah, and that's
when I
fair.
do, but no, but you kind of were. I think when In Ravenose came out, that's kind of when they lost me, and I was out for like a decade. Like I just kind of was. I just
Yeah,
like I
that
was like
album.
I was
Yeah.
like yeah, it's like yeah. Well, this
I'm,
album's worth basically what you're charging me for it, and
yeah, right. Yeah, it's like
yeah,
you could get it for you could get it for a
Fair.
it's
penny
for
if you wanted it.
yeah. I don't know. Like it just seemed like it got real. Like once they become sort of critical darlings, and everything exploded. And I don't know.
Yeah, they were
Just would
like
have
an
thought of them
indie
differently.
or fucking Weezer or something. It was like,
Yeah,
well,
I don't know.
here
It
we go.
was yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'll give him credit. Like a friend of mine was visiting last weekend. George Geo, do you remember George, Matt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he moved to St. Louis from San Francisco, and he works at Google and blah blah blah. But he was here, and we were trying to jam like we used to back in the day. And I was playing drums, he was playing guitar,
Adorable.
and he was. It was so funny because he couldn't remember any of the songs that we used to play in our little band. And so we played Karma Police, which was actually kind of fun. But that's obviously his favorite. He can play a Paranoid Android like nobody's business.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah,
All
like
right.
I mean, watching him play, and he just picked up the guitar like and just was like, "Oh, I'm amazing at this." It's like, fuck you,
Bastard.
buddy. Yeah,
So hard.
I know. Yeah.
I gave up on it. Smith is still plugging away.
Still hanging in there. No, I got. I've been doing my. I've committed myself, so I sit my guitar next to me on the couch,
Nice.
and I just
That's
kind of
that's what you got
play
to do.
around with it.
You
And
play what you
that
watch
is
TV and you play with it. Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what I've started doing, and I cannot. It is like my whoopee. Like I cannot leave that thing like just sitting there more than an hour with just like messing around with it. So it's fun. No, and actually, I don't know if I told you, but I got a bass a few months ago.
Oh no.
I just got a pretty cheap. Got a pretty good deal on a Squire Jaguar bass. And like playing bass,
Ooh.
like I will say, if you want to feel like a rock star right out of the box, like in
That's
a
right.
day,
Yeah.
buy an amp and buy a bass because holy
Yeah.
shit, like I mean, it's really like it's because I've been spending a lot of time trying to like learn by ear, and so I'm really trying to like not. I'm trying to work. Didn't try to find and playing a bass is so much fun that way because you just like noodle around and you're like, oh, that's the. I mean, because a lot of really super classic bass lines are pretty simple to play. A lot of them
Yeah.
are on a single string,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of fun. So.
And
And you
also,
can
it's
just
like it's an iconic sound, like the bass, like so.
it is
It's
absolutely.
it's definitely the starter. If you want to get into a band right away, pick yourself up a bass, and then you can pop in.
Yeah,
Uh,
because it is a lot of fun, and I'm not good at it, but it is a lot of fun to play around with. But I've gotten onto the bar chords and some of the
oh
more
wow,
advanced
Nice, dude.
that took
some of
me
the more
forever.
Those were the ones that started to really hurt my tiny fingers.
yeah
So
they're not
I was out shortly
it's
after that.
that's my fingers do things they didn't do a few months ago. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, but
it
Yeah.
they
is. It is weird how that happens. It's funny because my fingers can do all that stuff still, but my calluses are. I'm rebuilding the calluses. I've been sending you stuff. I've been playing more, but
yeah.
it takes a while. It just takes a minute.
Yeah, it does.
But back
Yeah.
in the day, like I had steel. Steel calluses. I could do whatever. I could play for 15 hours in a row.
Palaces of
Fucking great.
Steel. Your second band, if I recall.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we opened for Local H. It was great.
You did.
Oh boy.
As legend has it. Yeah.
You guys want to do?
Some
Headlines?
Yeah,
Some
that's
headlines?
something like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Headline of the week.
All right, I'll go first because I usually do. I might skip some of these. So this is from CNN Travel. Heinz wants to buy a new boat for the man who survived off ketchup while lost at sea. A sailor who spent weeks lost at sea in January, surviving largely off of ketchup, could have a new state-of-the-art boat coming to him. So
Good for him.
I know, I thought that was nice. Although I was thinking about the poor man who just eats ketchup in his basement because he can't afford anything else, and Heinz should buy him a new basement. So let's see, what's this? Dilbert dropped by everybody.
Oh, I'm glad you remembered this one because I forgot about it. But yeah,
I did
I
too.
loved every second of this. So
Yeah, so
proceed.
like, I was talking to Beth about it, and she's like, "What?" She's like, "That was pretty crazy." I'm like, "He's been saying crazy shit for like years. Like
Yep.
he should have been." I remember the first thing he said that I thought was crazy. He got the Dilbert cartoon was taken off the air on UPN because he was white, and that was a black network. And that was years ago, right? When
Right.
he said
Yeah.
that. I mean, he's. I assume he saved his money, but he's been dropped by um, not just these newspapers, but also the people that distribute the cartoon, also his publisher. I mean, he's done. Like he's
Yeah.
he's gonna hit the MAGA circuit, and he's gonna probably run for governor, I assume.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The next step, yeah.
the next step. Yeah, we
There's
know
probably
how
like
that
an
goes.
agent that like just specializes in these guys. Like
Oh
what's
yeah.
that dipshit's name from
You'll need to
Half
continue
Baked?
on your personal
Oh,
Did you hear?
I
Siri
did.
was
Yeah.
talking to us.
oh,
God
that was
damn it.
creepy. God
That was
damn.
really creepy.
It's like
AI
who's our fourth
everywhere.
guest? Yeah.
It's Siri.
Oh, Siri. Back again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Dilbert's been funny in a long time. I don't read comic strips anymore. But I mean, I read comic books, but I don't do. I don't get the newspaper. I assume it's still, like making jokes about, like I don't know, joint ventures or some dumb office
Right.
shit.
And I remember, I mean, I watched when was the cartoon, the animated series was early 2000s.
I
It
really,
was pretty
yeah,
decent.
it
Yeah.
was good. I really like
I'm
it.
sure you turned me on to that, but yeah, I actually really enjoyed that.
It's on Plex. Well, Larry Miller. Was it Larry Miller? Yeah, like one of the masterminds.
Who
behind
also kind of famously turned kind of right wing when it didn't work the other way too. Or
right,
not Larry
right,
Miller. I'm
right.
sorry. I'm thinking of the other Miller. Anyway, my apologies, Larry.
Sorry, Larry. Well, Larry.
Sorry, Larry.
Well, Larry also he directed the first Borat movie too. So anyway, like
Yes, yeah.
there's some decent people behind that stuff. So anyway, but fuck you, Scott Adams. There you go.
Dennis Miller. That's who I was thinking of. Dennis Miller.
Yeah,
It
he
was.
turned.
Dennis Miller.
Once was funny, but then,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, true story.
I still like him. He still makes me laugh, but whatever. It's probably because I just have this. It's the same reason I love Bobcat Goldthwait. He hasn't told a new joke in 25 years, but whatever. I still enjoy it. This is from the HuffPost. Oh, but he's coming to Kansas City. I'm gonna go see him. Yeah, he's playing at the Chuckle Hut or wherever the fucking improv is called here.
Yeah, it's a popular place.
Representative Lauren Bobart's gun-themed restaurant to be replaced by a Mexican eatery. The
I
extremist
love it.
Republican is now closed. Shooter's Grill and Rifle. Is it Rifle? Yeah, Rifle, Colorado.
Rifle, Colorado. Yep.
Was featured
Beautiful.
pistol packing servers and dishes such as the MI6 burrito. Ugh. Anyway, I love that the people that are taking over a country have taken over her restaurant, so that's excellent.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
And obvious news, whatever. Kellyanne Conway, George Conway to divorce after decades-long marriage, according to a
Oh, you
report.
beat me
Oh,
to
I
it.
didn't see that.
Oh, I just saw that tonight.
Oh,
I just saw it
what
tonight.
a shock.
Yeah,
God, that should have happened years ago.
there was a little thing that I saw in here. It's like the pair who got married in 2001 and share 4 children together have notably expressed contrasting political views in recent years in a marriage that Vanity Fair's Best Levin called, quote, one of the greatest mysteries of the 21st century. So, that was great.
Ugh.
Yeah, so that's the end of that love
Yeah, that
story.
whole saga was just crazy. Like that, they're back and forth. That was years ago. That's been like 5 or 6 years ago when like they were even pre kind of election when she was his first spokesperson, I think, and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
daughter who got
The
involved and was
daughter.
like,
Yeah.
like like took like video calls of her mom calling her a bitch. It's just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, like it was,
yeah.
it
Oh,
was
those were
good stuff.
brilliant. Yeah.
It was good stuff. Yeah.
Mother's
So
Enjoyed it.
easier.
so
Yeah.
well, I'm happier times to those two. I'm sure Kelly will find someone to
Yeah, I'm sure she'll fucking date one of them.
Absolutely horrid.
she'll
Yeah.
do.
Probably one of the Trump kids.
Oh,
Maybe.
that's right.
Oh, her and Marjorie can go out on the town together, out on the prowl. That'll
Yeah,
be fun. Ugh.
talk about a
Mm.
nightmare. Can you imagine? Can you
Ugh.
Could you
imagine
guys
rolling
imagine
into
you two
a
rolling into a bar and seeing that? Yeah, God.
well, Matt and I
Later.
would definitely we would go for it. Even though we both have wives and girlfriends, we would go for it
Right.
for the
You
story.
both would call Beth
Basically
and
have to.
Kathy and be like, "Yo,
We
this is
have
what's
to.
happening."
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is serious.
Our
I'm gonna see if she.
duty to
we have to
God and
do
our
this for
country.
America.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna, I'm gonna see if I can get them
Yikes!
to kiss. Uh, this is the last one. I just found this tonight. So Trump put out basically like I guess I'm just gonna read it. Okay. So this is the headline. Uh, Trump says vote for him in 2024 to fund freedom cities and flying cars. Uh, so he put this out on Truth, whatever his thing is called. Truth, that's right. Truth
Yeah,
Social.
Truth Social.
But a second Trump administration would bring, quote, a quantum leap in the American standard of living, unquote, Trump said, and brand new cities, another baby boom, and a push to develop flying cars. Past generations of Americans pursued big dreams and daring projects that once seemed absolutely impossible, he said. Trump proposed a contest to develop 10 new cities on federal land nationwide, nicknamed, quote, Freedom Cities. This is on federal land, so he's got to build it like in the middle of fucking Yellowstone, apparently. Grants would apparently be awarded to those who came up with the best city plans, although Trump offered almost zero specifics. You know, shit. The Freedom Cities would, quote, reopen the frontier by giving, quote, hundreds of thousands of young people and other people, end quote, a chance to buy new homes and new cars, which would somehow be also cheaper. Meanwhile, he claimed plans to push American companies to outmaneuver their Chinese counterparts in developing, quote, vertical takeoff and landing vehicles for families and individuals. While vehicles are in development, they're not ready for anything like that. Trump also claimed that he would ask Congress to support a, quote, baby bonus. Sorry, to encourage a new baby boom. Exactly what we need. Presumably to
Ugh,
populate
God.
new freedom cities, even though proposals to support parents of young children have already faced staunch and widespread opposition from Republicans. Lastly, Trump spoke of the efforts to beautify the country, saying that he would challenge governors nationwide to, quote, get rid of ugly buildings, end quote, revitalize parks, and ensure, quote, a pristine environment that features towering monuments to our true American heroes. So, I mean, he's definitely a shoo-in. I mean, that's clearly happening. And those are my headlines.
I think if you guys have the time,
So
we should work up a proposal for Freedom City.
I think so too.
I
Ooh,
have to
I'm
think
game.
that we're probably have a pretty good chance of winning.
I'd say
Freak.
As
so.
long as we appeal to his ego, and so I'm thinking, I don't know. I want to mull it around for it. I want to kick it around for a few
You want a
days. But I
mullet
think
around it?
I'm,
No,
I
you need a
not mullet,
mullet to do this
but I don't
correctly.
need a
You
mullet.
need it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what happens when you got
Prerequisite.
Trump. That's what
Yeah.
happens when I got Trump on the brain, But I gotta think about it a little bit. But I want you guys to think about it, like what a freedom city and
Oh,
what egregious thing we could do to public lands. Like that's the thing, right? Is
that's true. Yeah.
it's got to be egregious and horrific. And
Yeah.
so
Oh, we got to go after Yellowstone. We got to go for the big one.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think we need to probably fill in the Grand Canyon with condos. That would be perfect, right?
Oh, Tice. That's pretty good.
We'll call it. And here's the
That
thing
is
with
pretty-
Trump: the whole way we win this contest.
I love it. Hold on, wait, just for a second. The reason I love this is because fill it in with condos is just that's all the elevator pitch Donald Trump needs.
I
He's
know,
like,
right?
Yeah, no, you can literally
oh,
just hear him
and,
saying,
okay.
and then just leave him with this Megaopolis.
oh,
And then, I mean,
oh,
because
Megaopolis.
all he needs is a name and a short, like, Jaws in space.
that is
Gillian.
it.
Oh,
Hired.
And,
Hired.
and young people can move there and breed and get paid for it.
And they can fucking get their flying cars to get out of the Grand
In
Canyon.
their flying cars.
There you go.
To go to a
Wow.
blue state to get an abortion. But
Yeah, that's right. All right. All right. Since Walgreens won't send those pills across state lines anymore.
yeah.
Nope.
Don't go to Walgreens, people. CVS is exactly the same fucking thing. And they're better. So go to CVS
I
from
think
now
we
on.
can get a day after pill at Costco. I didn't check when I was there today, but I should have.
You
I've
can't
heard
get a day after pill, Tyson. You can get like 150 of them.
that's true, right? Yeah. I don't want to take birth control, but I do love this day after pill because birth control makes my hormones weird. But this little abortion pill I take every day after sex is great. Sorry.
Yeah, that was disappointing. I was kind of that's kind of a big deal, actually.
It is kind of a big deal. That was
It's
really
because a lot of what they were saying is a lot of this stuff can be circumvented by pharmacy access and mail order access, and so it's kind of
Don't worry. Listen, the Republicans have set up their own fucking curse in this because the free market will find a way
That's
to
absolutely true. Yep,
provide
yep,
these pills to everyone, and they're going to be like, well, that's wrong, and then we'll just be like, but the free market made it, so
right, yeah.
sorry.
A
Anyway,
lot of young people get their hands on ecstasy. That's all I'm saying. Like same deal, same deal. Just
some
have fun names.
MDMA.
Let's keep the fun names off the abortion pills. But I'm just saying, same
The day after
demand.
pill.
Yeah,
That's kind of I don't know who came up with that slogan. I assume some genius that actually makes these pills, the day after pill. I mean, talk about everything you need to know about like branding. The day after.
Well, Plan B. Plan B
Plan
was
B.
Plan B, yeah.
It was a great.
Plan A was not to get drunk at the bar. Plan B is to take this pill.
That's exactly it. Yep. Figured it out.
Such an opportunity to like market like some bullshit supplement as Plan C. Just like,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Somebody should have saw into that.
Now's the time. Yeah.
Now's the time.
Isn't Lily? Don't you live in a town where Lily something or other makes their?
Absolutely,
I mean,
yeah. Eli Lilly they are one of the biggest benefactors to the city. I mean, like everything, they just owned like half the city of Indianapolis. And so, where Kathy lives, the Eagle Creek Park is a gorgeous park, just like in the middle of the city. That was all Eli Lilly land, to my knowledge. And
that is
they've
Wow.
been here since like the 1850s, I want to say, and are still
They
based
started
here.
making horse pills, and they just built up from there.
Started making horse pills, just kept at it. Yeah, I mean, it's a giant company. I mean, I know like Lilly is, like Taco Shop is to Hayes, Kansas. You just know somebody who works there.
Why?
And who knows the recipes? Weirdly enough,
That's true. Yeah.
they also know the recipes.
I like
For the
it.
most
You know what? We need to push Taco Shop to fund a park in Hayes. like
Could
get
you
going with
imagine the look of that park? Oh
No,
god, there's gonna be like one tree,
Well,
one
I
shitty
don't
piece
know
of
what the
equipment.
size of the Taco Shop endowment is, but we should inquire.
I'm down
like
for
maybe
it.
a bench. Maybe we can start with a bench. Like
I think we could start with a bench in
there's
Frontier
tax
Park.
benefits. So we probably need to have an accountant reach out and be like, hey, there's some tax benefits of setting up an endowment. Let's get this taco shop. I say we undig one of the Hayes public pools and turn it into a new park and a new pool.
Oh, very nice.
We should all just, if any of us ever get fuck you money, there's a chance, Rivian,
There's a chance.
yeah, Rivian.
Never know. Yeah.
Matt, you're in the very start of
I
a
got this
very new
lotto
company.
system down. I got this new lotto system, and the guy tells me, anyway.
The three of us could purchase a taco shop, and then just let it run its course. I mean, we wouldn't change anything. We just let it go. I mean, I might have them clean up the Pico de Gallo station a little bit better, but that would be it.
Guys, yeah, do your thing. But I have one thing I want to change around this place.
I just feel like if I owned Taco Shock, it would be like the cautionary tale of like the boy who got everything he wanted. And it's like those millions, like those like people who win the lottery and they're like dead within 17 months, broke. And like I think that's kind of like I would just be like last found with like CCQ like dribbling out of my nose and in a parking lot. I'm not sure I'm ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for it. I think that's
not yet.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You'd be like, well, where else? What else can I do? I've got everything I've ever wanted. It's like, I guess I could climb Kilimanjaro, but I'd rather have a Poco pizza. So
what a poetic way to go!
Oh,
like
really?
The ending of Breaking Bad.
All right. All right. You guys stop. I'll be right back.
Oh,
all
okay.
Right. I guess Smith? I'll go into headlines.
Headlines.
If I can find my right browser, correct browser. There we go. Yeah, so I will start off with the Huff Post from a few days ago. And Bill, it's weird, Tyson not being here. I don't know. It's like the teacher.
I don't know either.
It's just awkward. I'm trying to go with it, Dawson. I am. I'm trying to make it work, but it's uncomfortable.
He didn't really explain himself. Can we guess why he left?
I don't know.
Let's take a moment to guess why he's gone.
Early on established that we would always say that if we needed to go to the bathroom or somebody was at the door, we would say the Schwann's man was here, but he did not say the Schwann's man was here. That's kind of our
he's
safe
in
word.
Podcast jail. For at least a little while. I hope he's okay.
I'm sure he said it pretty casually. Like it wasn't like something was on fire or being shot at. So
no, somebody stopped by. I wonder if he's actually going to come back.
Could be. It actually might be the Schwann's man too. We don't know. I like to keep those encounters.
Listeners will find out soon. Maybe, hopefully.
Well, let's start off with some of the lesser, the ones that. Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
I had a urinary tract infraction. I had to go deal with.
Oh, good.
Got it. Oh, you mean the Schwann's man was there?
Yes, the Schwann's man.
Remember what we decided on?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, it's all right. Now we have to come up with something else because we've told everyone.
The Schwann's
man. I know it's bullshit.
Secrets revealed.
I just want a bunch of little pizzas.
I love those pizzas.
I do love those pizzas. Oh, and those chicken patties.
Oh,
yes, the best.
Yeah.
And the drumsticks too.
Yeah, the drumsticks.
No, the ice cream drumsticks. Right?
The ice cream drumsticks.
I know exactly.
Fantastic.
Those were the best.
Good. Those were quite good. I got a few. This is from the HuffPost a couple days ago. Bill would require bloggers covering Florida governor to register with the state.
Okay.
So
what?
Someone, senator from the good state of Florida, introduced a bill that basically said if you're a blogger for money and you talk about the governor in any capacity, you have to register with the state and update them on basically anything you're writing about. Or, this is exactly what it sounds like. This is like, I don't know if it will go anywhere or not, but it's just a good bellwether kind of where things are headed in people's
is
heads.
Florida's like a fucking authoritarian state, like they're just, it's crazy,
Yeah.
I know. Well, they just took over this and I don't know that I understand the finer points, but basically the area surrounding Disney
Disney,
basically
yeah.
had its own
Right.
kind of overseeing organization that they basically have kicked out and now have put in all these nut jobs to run it. Basically, it's like in fact, like it's like a new board of directors, basically.
Yeah.
But it's nuts what's going on in Florida. I mean, this is DeSantis, basically just flexing his authoritative nut, because like he has like the Peter Brady voice, so like he has to like do this shit. But
He
like
does, but he's like, he's weird. Like, he is not. Okay, so regardless of what you think about Trump, people love him.
he's
Right?
charismatic. Like I
He's
mean,
He
charismatic.
is.
some people, yes.
DeSanto is like, he's like basically on the spectrum. He barely can fucking figure
No,
out
he
what's going
is
on.
right,
Like,
right.
and so I don't. It's never gonna like work on a debate. Can you imagine? Trump would eat him alive in a debate.
Which is
Like,
something no one has ever said ever. But yes, you are
But true.
correct. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said before, I'll say it again. This primary season is going to be
awesome.
bellissima because it's going to be so funny and
So fun.
like
French
what are they
kiss.
like blah
The
yeah.
chef's kiss, yes.
Oh, it's God. I hope Ted Cruz runs again. Like, there's so many people that I want to get
Right?
involved with this shit show.
Yeah.
Like,
Come on,
I
Ted.
had it. That's a good segue into just kind of a general comment. Is that it's the shittiest time of year, and it's CPAC, and it's in Florida, and all the nut jobs are there. It was kind of interesting. A lot of people bailed this year. DeSantis bailed. It has become the Trump show. It has been for like the last 3 or 4 years. It's
3 or 4 years.
just a joke. I mean, they had like Madison Cawthorn was speaking, and like I mean, it's like all your old time favorites. It's like Margaret Taylor Greene, it's Boebert. I mean, it's just like all the like say 10 nut jobs fast. You're going to be like 90% correct, and it's interesting. And the funniest thing about CPAC too is they've been sort of maligned with the founder Matt Schlapp, I think, which is just a great
heard
name.
about that today. I did not know this.
He was accused a few months ago of basically like groping like someone on the Herschel Walker campaign, which sounds doubly disgusting when you not only grope someone, but then it's also on the Herschel Walker campaign. It just sounds grosser.
I believe conservatives call that the friendly handshake, not groping.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, so CPAC suffered a little bit of an image blow there, but not enough for all your favorites to be there. Trump's the headliner. I think he's giving his speech on Sunday night. So make sure you tune into. Oh wait, you can't anymore because it's off DirecTV. So I guess you'll just have to, I don't know, stream it somewhere. But yeah. That'd be fun.
Rumble.
To watch,
what's that? Rumble.
One of my favorite headlines for the week: Prince William backed King Charles' decision to evict Harry and Meghan. So basically, their UK residents they were kicked out by the new king and apparently Prince. This was a little not Prince, but Prince William. Not a real prince, but Prince William, and so and you know what? Yeah, no shit, right? Like I'm not going to get into it. I just think these two are the most opportunistic, bratty, bratty, and
sorry, just two things. But the place that got kicked out was called Frogmore. That was the name of the estate.
That's
Frogmore.
Yeah.
Great name. Also, it's so English. It's so
English. Yeah.
So British. And the other thing I would recommend is South Park just did an episode about Harry and Meghan.
They did.
Oh,
okay.
did they? Oh,
it's on HBO Max, and it's
all right.
It's worth watching. It's because they do not pull any. They were pulling any punches anyway. But oof, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh God, I can't wait. Excellent.
Donnie. But Tyson, thank you, because that offers an excellent segue into my next
I'm killing it on
Hey,
segues.
you
You are
are.
killing
Damn,
on
king
segues
of the
tonight.
podcast,
Is
really.
South Park lawsuit? Warner Brothers Discovery sues Paramount for $500 million.
Yeah.
So it's not really that exciting of an article, but basically it's just some discrepancies between the two's agreement on who was going to have what episodes when. Um, and this is just getting nuts. Like, and that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Is just all these mergers and where is what and up. It is like, what the hell is happening? And I was just kind of curious to see if either of you like had any read on this. Because a few weeks ago, I think we talked about how they were killing off the Showtime brand. There was another
And
one.
Paramount
There's
Plus
some,
is absorbing it.
yeah, and it's all like merging. And now I got a Hulu, and it's got like it's just really weird and confusing how streaming. And I don't know. Do you think like the end goal is to consolidate it down to like 2 or 3 services, or I don't get what the end goal is
I
in
feel
all of
like
this.
Apple's going to end up eating them all in the
I
long run.
I don't know. Apple's they just can't. They're just not very good at producing shows compared to some of the other ones. Now
They've gotten better. There's
they've
a
gotten
couple of good
better.
things. Like
There are.
Shrinking is so good.
I've
Well,
talked
and
about my Apple content bias. Like I can't explain
You
it.
have.
It's just
Yeah.
like it just can't explain it. And
I mean, there's some good stuff. Mythic Quest, Ted Lasso, Central
yeah,
Park. There's some good stuff on there. Shrinking, we're gonna start that, but
You'll love it.
I'm sure. But I don't. I think this is okay. This is what I think is happening. So like, basically, what happened was you have. I have a Roku, so I can get anything that I want. And the reason I have a Roku is because I had an LG TV, and LG TVs, like Sony TVs and different other types of TVs that are smart TVs, you can't get certain apps on those TVs because they are in direct competition with.
yep,
So, for example, I can't get HBO Max on LG because they won't carry it because LG is owned by somebody who dates HBO or whatever, like
yep,
Warner Brothers Discovery, whatever. So, I think they are consolidating it, but I think basically what's happening is that they're they're raising the prices all the time, right?
yeah,
So I think what's happening is that they're trying to go back to the model that they used to have where they could sell DVDs and Blu-rays, because you can't get anything you want all the time without paying $20 for it if you really
right,
want to see Stripes. And then and I do think they're going to consolidate. So there's like the top. So there's Viacom, there's Disney, Fox, Disney Fox, like so they've all conglomerated, Warner Brother Discovery, Discovery has its own thing. We prescribed it. Yeah, we have Discovery Plus and we have HBO Max, and then CNN's going to merge all that stuff. So I think what's going to happen is at the end of the day, they're going to merge all the stuff together. There'll be like 5 or 6 of the main ones, and it will cost just as much as cable does. So
yeah.
it's
No,
like
Yeah.
it's
it's like
not. No,
so
well, no. I think the goal is to make it cost more than cable. I
maybe
think
yeah.
they
Yeah.
wouldn't have gone through all this trouble
Ultimately.
if it wasn't.
Yeah.
But what you get is you can watch anything on demand, and that's like the thing. That's the change from cable to this, right?
Yeah,
But you're right. It's weird. Like they're saying that Disney is going to sell Hulu probably because they don't need it, like and Hulu was owned by Fox and they got
but
it when they bought 20th Century
right,
Fox.
right. Which is crazy. Like they're just going to throw these brands that they acquired away effectively,
Away.
like because
Yeah.
they weren't like they didn't have substance. They had agreements, like they had
Right.
contracts, which is just
Right.
it's kind of weird to wrap your head around. But
Well, and
yeah, as
that's
long
the
as they
thing
keep
about
making TV, that's all I
yeah,
care
yeah,
about.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean that's the thing about that South Park thing. So South Park sold their episodes to HBO Max for I don't know, 200 million, is that what it was? It was a lot of money, right?
Yeah,
And I saw this thing interesting. There's so Trey Parker and wait, who are the two guys? Matt
Matt
Stone.
Stone and
that's
Trey
Stone, Trey
Parker.
Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Matt Stone he's not Matt Stone's kind of like not the head writer or whatever. He's kind of his buddy. Anyway, I was looking and I saw this thing and Matt Stone has 700. He's worth $700 million, and Trey Parker's worth $600 million, which is fine. But I was wondering what he spent, and I was like, and then immediately what I thought it was, did Castle cost $100 million? Like, no, surely not. Surely not.
God, I hope so. I'm so
Oh,
excited.
I am too.
Oh yeah,
You're
we're
gonna
definitely
probably.
going when we come out there.
Oh, by the way, this is an exclusive. I found out today that we did get those tickets to
All
Postal Service.
right,
Oh, awesome!
postal service, excellent.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Jasper. You rule.
That is
All
I
right,
won't
awesome.
say
I am.
specifically who he
Wow.
is, but yeah, we're going.
all right, that's excellent.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm
for
excited.
free.
We're
Yeah.
definitely doing the Caspanitas while we're there.
Yes, we are. Yes,
Absolutely.
we are.
Absolutely.
Oh, I can't wait.
I think that's all I really had. Something about this is harassment. Alex Jones says the Department of Justice wants to seize his cat. It's not really worth
What?
going any more into it. Yeah, he just was,
Ugh.
being Alex Jones.
Right.
Yeah.
Saying because they're like repossessing all his assets
Is
because
his cat worth like 20 grand?
$2,000.
Oh
$2,000.
shit! Really?
$2,000.
Wow.
So that's where they're focusing their attention.
The-
There's a
must be
beautiful
Okay.
picture of him. It's actually a pretty fucking nice looking cat.
Is it a Bengal cat? Is it like a really big
It's
one?
it's called Mushu. It's very fluffy.
Oh no, I'm out.
But
I'm
if
out.
I were to own a
Mushu.
cat, I would
Yeah.
consider it. And one other thing I was just going to mention really quickly, and you guys had heard because it kind of flew under the radar, but they pretty much determined, or the FBI director Ray, they pretty much determined that COVID came from a lab leak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of flew under the radar a little bit. And this is like one of those things that's kind of been known for a while, but I think about this as like the right wing conspiracy theory, like the stuff, a broken clock is right twice a day. Like that's kind of like, yeah, they got one. Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And I
They
but, like,
did. They
this was
did.
never really a partisan issue. I didn't think. I mean, I never
didn't
thought,
think so
well,
either.
yeah, it was a probability that it came from, and it wasn't what's the word I'm looking for, but it wasn't thinking negatively on China. It was just like, that's a possibility. Like it
Right,
was
yeah, yeah.
xenophobic.
Right.
That's what I was trying to think of. Like a lot of
Oh,
people,
yeah.
there was this very xenophobic overtone to everything and calling it the Wuhan flu and all this. And it's like, who gives a shit? Like it happened. Like you have to deal with it. Like, and so anyway, but yeah, they've basically confirmed that it probably did come from a lab.
Why didn't they call it the Wu-Tang flu? That would have been amazing.
The Wu-Tang flu.
Oh, hell yeah.
Everybody would have caught that shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they
what I
would have.
There was a
Proud
guy.
to catch that shit.
I tried to get a picture of this so many times, but I couldn't. So, like, I live on this out on a block and a half from my house. I live on there's a major big road, and this guy had so it was during the presidential election, the last one, and he had everyone had the presidential signs, like vote Trump, vote whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. And he and he had one, and all it said was "Presidents come and go, but Wu-Tang is forever."
nice.
I was like,
I love that.
I'd like to meet this guy. So, anyway,
I'd like to meet that guy.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
Yeah, that was my headlines.
yay! Good headlines, man.
Yay! Yeah, you guys both did fucking very well. I only have a couple. I had a bad week. Busy week. The first one is Madonna dating 29-year-old boxing coach Josh Popper. This is one of my gross headlines of the week. Madonna is 64 years old, and she is dating the trainer of one of her children, which is just great. And she's quoted as saying, like, obviously there's criticism over her relationships and the gaps in them and all this stuff. And she says, I've created a very unconventional family. I have lovers who are 3 decades younger than me. This is what she told Harper's Bazaar. This makes people very uncomfortable. I feel like everything I do just makes people really uncomfortable. You are correct. Everything. Madonna, yeah. And I love her. God, I love the music, but it is just, wow, too much. And I still want to see her world tour, sorry, just, I want to see it.
Huh?
The tickets are outrageous and I refuse to pay it. So
how long has it been since she has done like a
It's been
national
a while, like
tour?
10
it's
years?
been a while.
I'm
Yeah,
just wondering,
over a decade.
if she's up for it. Like, I'm wondering if this
I
might be
do
like
too.
a GNR type situation where
Yeah,
it
I don't know.
looks real
I
good
don't.
on paper, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
I,
mean, it
I
doesn't even
we'll
look that good
see.
on paper.
We'll see. She's training for it right now,
Oh,
so
good.
everybody
Good.
watch out.
There are pills for that, Matt. Don't worry.
That's true. That's true. I forget. Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
And then my other headline in Colorado news, the Denver Botanical Gardens, which we love, they have a concert series, and they just released who's going to be playing this summer. There's actually some decent people like Nico Case, Santa
Ooh.
Gold,
Ooh,
the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. I don't know if you guys have been to the Botanical Gardens here, but it's really cool, and they've got this amazing stage in the middle. And so, anyway, check it out, Colorado people. Gonna
I've
be
always
fun.
I've always wanted to see Santa Gold. I'm really a big
Me
fan of
too.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
awesome.
She never comes
And I
around here.
love Nico Case. Ugh.
Yeah, me. Yeah.
You guys got to go see the new pornographers.
They're
Because they're
here.
playing, right?
They're coming here in a couple weeks. So
I didn't. I'll have to look and see. I would bet they're coming somewhere close here, so I
they're
need to
doing
look.
it's that they were supposed to do like a 20th anniversary of that record, the first record that I heard them do.
Oh,
I
yes.
can't remember the name of it, but
I can't
so
remember the name either.
but that's my
Brain
favorite record
soup today.
by them. So like
Yeah,
that's
it's a
exciting.
good one.
Anyway, well that's cool.
They're amazing live. But yeah, those are my plugs. Or headlines, sorry.
Headlines of the week.
Headlines.
Headlines of the week. Do you guys want to do some plugs?
Yes.
Plugs.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
Bing. Emotional. So I only have two. So in our very pathetic efforts to watch all the Oscar-nominated films, we did watch The Fabelmans this week.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I mean, it's look.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like I've ever seen a bad. Well, I mean, I don't think Steven Spielberg makes bad movies at all anymore. Like, I mean, you might like
Yeah.
some better than the others, whatever. But it was good. I highly recommend it. My favorite part of the movie by far was the end. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just so good. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sure that's a true story and it's awesome.
Yep.
So anyway, I would recommend watching that. It's not going to win, but
It's not. There's no way.
but
Yeah.
what was Michelle Williams? Is that who played his mom? Uh,
Yes. Michelle Williams.
yeah, she was great, and so was Dano. He was good.
Seth Rogen was good too.
Seth
I
Rogen
was
was
so
great.
happy for him.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I was very impressed. Pretty, actually, pretty good movie. I gotta admit.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into this because I know you saw this today. So I went and saw Cocaine Bear last weekend with Gio. You saw it today.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So let me give you my take right around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for
So that bear is going to be a huge star.
it.
That bear was amazing. He stole every scene he was in. Like, and to
Was
be
he
honest,
your favorite? Because I have a favorite, and it wasn't the bear, but he was a close second.
I mean, I liked a lot of the people. I liked, but the thing was, this was my problem with the movie, and this is just a small problem because this is not the kind of movie you would sort of even think to have a problem with.
Yeah.
But the characters weren't super interesting, like overall. I mean,
They didn't need to be.
they didn't
I
need to
didn't
be
think.
right,
Yeah.
but there was no like, like in Nope, you really do care about like all the
You do.
characters.
Yes.
I didn't care. I mean, I liked the kids, and
Kids were adorable.
yeah, and
Smith, you'll love the kids, especially the little boy. Oh my god.
yeah, he's great.
He's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I really liked the movie, and that ambulance scene was fucking
Whoa, right?
amazing. Yeah.
God, I almost threw up. Like
So
there were some moments.
so just one more thing, and then I'll let you like fucking. But so there was a somebody asked me. I think I said, yeah, I was on Scrum, and they're like, "What'd you do this weekend?" I was like, "I was a cocaine bear," and they're like, "Oh, that looks stupid," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's great." Uh, and uh, and they were like, "Were there a bunch of kids there?" And I'm like, "No, it's an R-rated movie. It's pretty gory." I was like, but I feel like, and I would say everybody was in their like late 20s to up to the 40s or 50s or whatever. And it was full, like it was full theater, which
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
surprised.
Same
And
today.
that's awesome. And so like I was just surprised. And but what I did think is everybody in that theater had probably done cocaine at least once in their lives. And the reason I thought that is because there's a scene where the two kids find some cocaine, and the kid's like, "Oh, yeah, I take that." One of the kids is like, "Oh, yeah, I take that all the time after church," And the other kid's like, "No, this is in '86 where there was, cocaine was kind of new. Well, it wasn't new,
Yeah.
but it was
Well,
popular."
yeah. It's
But
popular.
and then the other and then the kid's like, "Oh, well, you've done some. Well, why don't you take some?" And he's like, "Oh, but I'm exercising. I can't take any right now. I'm walking around." And so the girl takes a knife, stabs into the bag of cocaine, and then the kid goes, she's like, "How much should I take?" And he goes, "I don't know, a tablespoon." And when he said that, everybody in the audience went, "Oh," like that, like, like, and I was like, "Yep, that is the wrong amount of cocaine to take, especially when you're 8." And then and then you see, it's like he goes, "Well, how do you take it?" "Well, you eat it."
Yeah. Yeah.
It was great. Anyway, what
It's
do
a
you think? What do you think?
I really liked it. I love how campy it was. I have to say, yes, the bear was one of my favorite parts, but Margot fucking Martindale,
Oh yeah,
who is literally in everything, who plays the park ranger,
yeah, she was great.
she is excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I
And
actually thought that was the one you probably like. That's, yeah, because
oh, she was
she was great. It
just
bit
yeah.
my ass.
The way she's walking back to the station, oh, she just played her heart out. And also fun fact for everybody, and people may know this, Elizabeth Banks directed it, and I
Yeah,
think she did a pretty good job,
I think so
honestly.
too. Yeah, I think so.
The music in it was fantastic.
Super 80s music. Yeah,
Very 80s.
yeah,
There's kind of like a tribute at the very beginning to Wet Hot American Summer with
yeah,
that song at the
yeah.
very beginning, which was nice.
Also, I was
Uh, I liked it.
without saying too much, I was quite shocked by the bear cubs.
Me
that
too.
and that whole thing.
There are some shocking moments. There were. Which
When I was like,
actually I'll just go to my unplug real quick because it is related. There were 3 people sitting next to us, one of which was their daughter who was 6
oh
at
no.
least. She had a little pink backpack on. I was like, "Why the fuck is she here?" So every time something really fucked up happened, I was just mortified. And her mother was terrible on so many levels. She kept trying to get like double margaritas, like, and they just didn't sell them at Alamo Draft House. And she was like, "I want to talk to your manager."
Oh,
I need a
It was a
double
whole thing. Yeah.
wow.
double
Yeah.
margarita.
Yeah.
That poor girl.
Oh
So
God.
yeah, those fucking
Yeah.
parents are
Well, that
unplugged for the
last
rest of
scene
my
with
life.
the intestines, that's not for kids. That is
It
not.
is not for kids. Do not take your kids to Cocaine Bear, people.
Oh Jesus.
Jesus.
Cocaine Bear was
Yeah.
probably the safest part of that child's day.
That's
It's true.
true. That's it. Yeah, very true, Smith.
I can't. I got a double margarita in this.
She got a fucking like queso and chips and she didn't share it with anybody. She was just horrible. Like it was a whole thing. Hate that woman.
Share.
She did it. Her daughter's over there like, "Mom, can I have some?" She's like, "No, you got your own thing."
Get
Blah
your
blah
own.
blah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then she was, oh, this was my other favorite part. Her daughter was like, "Mom, can I get a dessert or something? I'm not really that hungry." "No, you've already had too much sugar today." Meanwhile, you just took you're literally taking your daughter to an R-rated movie. Just let her have some sugar. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
You
right,
don't.
right,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Parents.
I know, so fun. So Smith, just be on the lookout for any kiddos in the audience. When
All
you
right. Yeah.
There were no
Anyway.
kids in
report
the audience
back.
because I kind of
Okay.
looked
There
around.
weren't? Okay.
Because I was like, I mean, I know you can get in with your parents if you're a little kid, it's fine. But no, there were no kids. Thank
I
God.
know you can get any kid into an R-rated movie, but
You
some
can get-
sort of
There's gotta be a-
Usher's code of conduct
Yeah.
or something that
Technically, you can get a kid into an X-rated movie
you
as
can.
long as you have parent supervision.
Right.
No
Right?
shit.
Yeah, I
Ugh,
think
I
that's
didn't know
right.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway, well,
Made me
we'll
uncomfortable.
check back in at Cocaine Bear 2 now. So let us know. Let us know how that shit's working out. I hate you, Mom.
Oh,
Love this
God.
movie though.
Love it. Love it. Great movie.
Yeah, Matt, it's worth seeing in the theater too, just for the
You have to see
surrounding.
it in the theater.
We'll do
Yeah.
it. We'll find the
Yeah,
time to do it. Yeah.
it's a fun thing. Also, they showed a preview for Renfield.
Oh, they
Renfeld.
did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was so funny because I had seen it and I knew what was happening, but you don't see that Nick Cage is Dracula until the very end.
Very
And
end.
it was
Yeah.
very funny because once he showed up, there's this like silent beat in the trailer,
Uh-huh.
and the whole like a bunch of people in the audience went, "Oh," like that. And that was like, what the fuck? I was like, all right, yeah, it makes sense now. Like anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
I didn't have a lot because I didn't have internet. So I watched a lot of Plex,
Salt in the
which
wounds.
people aren't familiar. Plex is actually a pretty amazing ecosystem. It's gotten really good over the last few years. But just sort of for local downloaded movies and TV, it's just kind of an indexing thing that basically lets you set up your own Netflix with your own collection and share it. It's good stuff, and so that saved me. So I dug through a lot of that collection, watched a lot of after school specials, and really good one called Stoned with Scott Baio.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
Where he almost kills his brother because they're rowing and he hits him with an oar.
And he's
Fascinating.
stoned.
He's
You know how violent
And
people. You know how
he
violent
was
people
stoned,
get when
yes.
they're stoned. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
So violent.
But I watched. My favorite was probably my highlight. Was probably Saved by the Bell: The Unauthorized Story. Which
Oh, I've never
seen.
watched that.
But it was what reminded me of it was I was going through my posters and I saw my the two Coreys poster, which Tyson gifted me with a few years back, and I was like, oh shit! And I saw that they'd also done one on Saved by the Bell from Screech's perspective, who we lost, I think, in 2021.
Dustin Diamond.
Cancer, yeah. But it was
Never
pretty
forget.
sad. Really terribly acted. And the guy that played Slater wasn't selling it at all, but it wasn't bad.
That's on Hulu, I think, right now.
It is on Hulu. That's correct.
Oh,
yes.
It is. I'm watching that tonight.
And
Holy shit.
I almost watched it, and I was like, oh, I know it's bad, but I love bad things, and I was like, I don't know.
It's like an hour and a half of your life, and it's
Semi
funny because
worth
they so presented it like it was going to be scandalous, and it's not at all. It's a Screech gets sad sometimes. We all get sad
He's
sometimes.
not as pretty as
Don't
the
we
other
all?
kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only other recommendation I had, and we actually binged this, I think, last weekend, was The Consultant on Amazon.
I've seen that. Like the preview for it.
Yeah, so this is going to be a soft plug.
Okay.
The writing wasn't great, but here's the thing about this, and I kind of figured it out by the fourth or fifth episode because we're both pretty into it. It goes quickly.
Uh-huh.
It's only I think the episodes are 20 to 30 minutes long, and there's 10 episodes, so it's like a Werner Herzog movie. It's about four and a half hours, and so, but it's writing's not great, but the story's pretty interesting, and it didn't need to be a TV show, and so it takes too long, I think, to get interesting, and it so if you can get past the first couple episodes and the ridiculousness of it, basically the premise is that this guy comes in as this consultant as a last ditch effort to sort of redeem these sort of startup founders who are otherwise floundering, and so he basically makes them an agreement to basically I will come in and to save your legacy. And so there's a lot of tones. What it really reminded us of, and I think was the most appealing part of it, was it reminded us of the 97 film Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
and
love that
it
movie.
really kind of reminded us of that, and the kind of the good versus evil, and sort of, so like I said, it's a soft plug. I think it's worth checking out. If you can get through the first couple episodes, like, you'll enjoy the remainder of it. But it's I don't know. It's like a 6. I'll give it a 6. Is that worthy of a plug? I'm guessing it is. Yeah. Yeah, that's my tomatometer. My tomatometer as a Tomanomina. Yeah,
the phenomena.
Which we're still gonna write our book on how that's all bullshit. We're gonna blow it up. We're gonna expose Rotten Tomatoes for the payola scheme that it is. But yeah.
Just as a follow-up, I really would recommend to anyone who ever watched Saved by the Bell to watch the reboot on Peacock. It's quite good.
I still need to watch.
I
watched the first season.
Yeah.
Did they do? How many seasons did they do? Did they
did
do
2, and then that's it.
Okay.
But again, my favorite thing about the series, although I did like the new cast, I think they're pretty good, and but my favorite thing about it was that they made Showgirls, the movie Showgirls, canon in the Saved by Bell universe. And that's a great episode. I just can't get around. I can't tell you how fun that is. It's like,
that's pretty cool.
I went to Vegas for 3 months and things got crazy.
No.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I love that.
Oh yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
Good for them for doing that.
No, yeah, it was.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dawson,
that was it. Yeah, that was it.
You were wearing a Los Campesinos shirt.
I am. We went to this concert. Remember this, guys? Hey.
I sure do.
Good times. Good times. Where was that at? At the Mohawk in Austin.
That was a great venue.
Yeah,
one of my favorite venues of all time. Yes.
Yeah, it was super fun. We sang our faces off. We were really, really intoxicated. And then we lost Tyson.
We lost Tyson.
And I got home before anybody else.
A recurring theme. Oh,
Tyson got lost.
Oh, I have such a great picture of Tyson sitting in front of my door at our apartment complex with Jonas, and his arms are raised like, what? Where did you go?
Yep, I beat everybody home.
Yep, he did.
Wow.
Oh, adventures. So, always an adventure. I have a couple, so bear with me. There's a new documentary series on Apple Plus called The Reluctant Traveler. Have you guys seen the previews for this?
No.
With Eugene Levy? Is it Levy or Levy?
Levy.
Anyway.
Levy, right. Okay. The title says it all. He doesn't like to travel, which is hilarious. And you know Eugene. He's just naturally funny. So they put him in all of these places he would never go to by himself. And the guy, I have to give him props. He is like 75 years old.
Yeah.
And he is, you look at him and I'm like, I would have thought you were like 61, 62. He's getting along great. He looks great, like all this stuff. He just hates to travel. And so they put him in places like Finland, Costa Rica. When they put him in Costa Rica, that was hilarious because he loves hotels. That's his thing. He could stay at a hotel and just, like you guys love hotels. So I think you would both really enjoy this show. But he goes to this beautiful hotel in Costa Rica that is literally in the jungle. Like you have to walk through the jungle to get to it. And then he gets to his room and he's like, oh, this is getting better, blah, blah, blah. He opens the doors to his balcony, which there's this beautiful pool. And he's, stunned. But then he points out and he's like, what's that? And they're like, oh, that's an active volcano. And he doesn't sleep the whole time he's in Costa Rica. It is such a great show.
Oh, wow.
Jonas and I went through all of the episodes in 2 days.
Oh.
It's so good.
What's it on?
It's on Apple Plus.
Apple Plus. The Reluctant Traveler. Okay.
Yeah, check it out. And then you guys know I like award shows. I watched the SAG Awards, which are on YouTube, and I loved it. That's probably one of my favorites. Oscars, then the SAG Awards. It was just great to see Jamie Lee Curtis win. I love her. I've loved her for a long time. She was very emotional. And Michelle Yeoh won. And that's kind of the show that predicts the Oscars. So now everybody's
right.
like, oh, Michelle Yeoh's going to win. And I'm very excited about that. So another plug for Everything Everywhere All at Once. The Daniels actually did this great shoot with Jennifer Coolidge. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
I think I
Shared
sent
it.
it to
Yeah,
you.
it was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another plug. Everybody should check that out. It's like
it was for
Power Ranger themed, and
the W magazine.
yeah, for W. And then there were some new albums that came out this week on all of the things, Spotify, Apple, whatever. Remember by Weevil. I don't know. Do you guys listen to Weevil at all, or have you?
I don't think so.
It's like electro and synthy, and it's these two Dutch guys, and I really like it. I listen to it all the time because their first album, I want to say, is all just like electro synth, no lyrics whatsoever. It's all instrumental. It's cool. And their new album's pretty damn good. So it's called Remember. I would recommend that. And then the Go Team put out a new record.
I saw that, yeah.
And it's been how fucking long? Since like early 2000s?
It's
since
been a
their
bit.
last.
Well, actually, they put one out a little bit ago. But yeah, it's been a minute since this last one.
Do you have the vinyl, Tice?
I have one of them. I have my favorite. I was just gonna get it.
Dawson, how do you spell Weevil?
It's WEV as in virus.
Okay.
AL.
VE.
V is in virus.
V is in
V is in virus. AL.
V is in
VIBAL. Oh, I found it.
That sounds very much something.
It's good.
Like
I think you'll like it, Smith. Yeah, Tice. I don't know about you. Probably not.
It's something.
Go with a no. Yeah.
Something.
That album right there,
yes,
Thunder, Lightning, Strike, is one of the best albums ever. Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Super fun.
Such a
This album is not that album. It's fun, but it's not fucking great like that one.
Yeah.
Well, that was I used that for all the bed music for the
basement tapes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun.
Bed music.
How would you guys describe the Go Team to everyone?
Well,
like the sound of their music.
Well, so the thing with this record was they couldn't release it in the United States for a year and a half because because licensing for samples is different in Europe than it is in the United States as far as copyright goes. So they had to recreate every single sample that they used themselves and then put them back in there so they had no copyright issues. Isn't that crazy? So it took.
So is that why the band wound up being like gigantic? Is because they like it turned into a multi-instrumental sort of like.
It turned it, yeah. I don't know if that's why they got so big. I mean, you guys have heard this record; it's amazing. Like it's crazy.
So good.
Because it does sound like a cut up like sample record. Like it. I mean, it really does. That makes so much sense now. That like because.
There was like over 150 samples, if I remember correctly, and they had to go in and recreate them all in the studio and then splice them in to the mix so they could release it in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, which is crazy. So
that is crazy.
And I heard some of the new tracks on the new record, and it's good. I mean, they sing more now than they used to.
Sing a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, but
there are a lot of new members. That I saw from Wikipedia, which I wasn't aware of.
I don't know how to describe them other than I would say it's like a hip hop rock band, but not like you think. Like that sounds like rap rock, and it's not rap rock.
It's not rap rock.
They have a lot of hip hop.
There's like a pep band element to it. Like you kind of feel like you're in a gymnasium.
Yeah,
but it's really fun at the same time.
Super high energy.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. You should listen to it. It's fun. It makes you happy.
Yeah.
It does. It is happy music. That is for sure.
Thunder, lightning, strike. Yeah. Start there. You'll be hooked. Like it's.
It's for real. And
That's
then
fine.
kind of listen to the new album, but then go back to that album. 'cause it's just-
Then listen to that again.
Yeah.
Well, I heard the new track on Sirius XM, and I liked it. I mean, I like all their stuff, so it's
I like all their stuff too, but in comparison to that album, like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
What is
Yeah.
it? College? Which channel do you listen to? The on XM.
Yeah, it's basically the college
Yeah.
channel.
Okay. Well, I can't remember
30,
what.
35, I think. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I listen to a bunch of them. There's an all Canadian channel that I listen to all the time too that I really like because they play all kinds of Canadian bands that I like.
Brian Adams,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Fucking
Top of the
Celine
list.
Dion,
Anne Margaret. No, wait,
and Margaret. I think
that's
she's.
not her.
Oh my god. And then my last plug. Sorry. You guys also know how I like reality ghost shows.
We do.
So I just finished Fear, what was it? Destination Fear. And Jonas had told one of his little cousins that I love ghost stories when they were camping. This was like last month. And so little Ian, who's 13 now, he was like, tell Jesse to watch this show called Ghost Brothers on Discovery Plus. So, Ian, I know you don't listen to this, but I know your mom listens to this podcast. Britt, I watched it today and I loved it. Those guys are hilarious. Like the whole it's just these like three black guys who make fun of like all of these white people doing all of these ghost shows. But they're doing the exact same thing. I love it. It's so funny. It's also kind of scary sometimes. They're way better. It's like my new favorite ghost show. So
What's it called? Ghost Bros?
it's called Ghost Brothers.
Ghost Bros. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's sensitive. I'm not sure. Anyway, Ghost Brothers.
But
Okay.
yeah, Ghost
Is
Brothers.
it on Discovery?
Yeah, it's on Discovery
That's
Plus.
where all the ghost shows are on. So I
All the ghost
Yeah.
shows are there.
Yes,
I fucking
yep,
love it. Yeah.
yep.
It's like my hangover Sunday magic. So
Have you ever watched the one with like the Osborne kids? The Jack
I
Osborne does one.
did. Yeah, like Jack Osborne really got into that stuff. And I don't think he's that great, to be honest.
I don't know.
I've watched a few of them.
But like as a person or a ghost hunter?
He's a ghost hunter. Like he
No, but
has
I
his
mean,
own
like-
show where
But I mean, like how great? Like,
Not great.
Sorry.
Nepo baby. Yeah.
Nepo baby. Exactly.
Oh, I can't wait till that falls out of the fucking zeitgeist.
Oh God, I know. Yes. Another no
Slowly but
shit
surely.
news. Yeah.
Yeah, no shit news.
Emilio Estevez is the original Nepo baby. Yeah. Okay. All right. Shut up.
I changed his name. The shame of the Sheen name, which actually is a fair case for now, I guess. So yeah.
Oh god.
Good looking out, Emilio. You're way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Emilio.
Emilio.
That is it.
That is
I've
it.
plugged.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
Well.
and again, go see Cocaine Bear. Fucking fun.
We will do it.
Smith, you have to see
Consider
it.
it done. Ish. Yeah.
It is fun. It is fun to see it in the theater. It's like I wish I would have seen Nope in the theater. I wish I would just sucked it up and gone. But
Oh, you should have seen Nope in the theater. That was
well,
quite good.
he shot the whole thing on. I know we're going long. Sorry, everybody, but he shot the whole thing on IMAX cameras. So like, if you saw it in
Did
IMAX,
he really?
the whole movie is in IMAX,
Fuck.
so you
All
can
right.
see
We
it.
didn't see it in IMAX.
I didn't.
Wow.
Well, yeah, and obviously
Yeah.
the cut that they sent home, or whatever, is not the same. But I'm sure they'll release it.
That's him like fucking with the production company. He's like, yeah, I want to shoot this shit on IMAX. I'm like,
Well, he said-
all right, yeah,
there's
that's nuts.
There's a pretty good documentary about that movie, and like he or behind the scenes or something or other, and he basically said, at this point in my career, I try to think of the movie I want to make and what I want it to look like, and then I have to work backwards to try to figure out how to film the thing.
Huh.
And he said the
So
only way
cool.
he could get those big sky images,
Yeah.
Oh, and then he was like going in and zooming out. Okay, gotcha.
So he had
Okay.
to go to an IMAX only thing, and and he's like, we did things like, IMAX cameras are huge, right? So like they don't really go up in the air very well, but they did a bunch of that stuff, where it was. So anyway, just
Yeah,
fascinating.
that is interesting.
I don't know.
I
He
love
got
that
robbed.
movie.
He should have got something for
He
the
should have
Oscar.
got a bunch more accolades.
Yeah.
God damn, that guy is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's
I'm
good.
excited for every movie that he puts out.
Yeah, me too. Although, have you seen Us? Is that was the second one? Was that one?
It was the second one. It was not as good
It
as
was.
Get
It
Out.
was good, but it wasn't amazing. But
No,
it's
but
kind of
Nope
a
was
weird.
really good.
Nope was really good. Yeah.
Smith, did you see Nope?
Nope.
Hey.
Ew. On that nope. Wow. Oh.
Sorry, had to. Yeah,
Wow. Oh, new one. Oh, shit.
had to dust
So,
that one out.
have you not seen it yet, Matt?
No, I have not. No.
All right. Well, after you get done binge watching the new Saved by the Bell, definitely watch it.
I haven't. Man's got to have his priorities in life, Tyson. And
That's fair.
Oh,
No,
are
I've
you
got it.
No judgment.
are you heartbroken? They're only going to do one more season of the Karate Kid. Did you see that?
Oh, no way.
but no, actually, I'm not
Why?
because well,
It's so
because
popular for
it's
Netflix,
gonna
and
be-
they
it's-
don't have dick going on.
It's
Sorry.
you know what though, it's been 7 seasons. I think it'll be 6.
Oh,
I mean, it's I'd rather I've seen it play out too many times where it gets bad, and
Yeah.
6 or 7 is
yeah.
you're doing real good if you've got 6 or 7 solid seasons. So I think it's probably the right decision.
I think they're going to do a spin-off, but
I think you're probably right because it has been huge for Netflix, and so
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, I don't know. They need to give Johnny his own show. I think
did I
Okay.
did I send you that thing that I found? You can rent. I guess the house that Daniel lives in, or he's filmed in. You can
Okay.
actually rent that as an Airbnb. That house.
really.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, and also, by the way, the people that bought Ralphie's house from Christmas Story
Yes,
turned it into an Airbnb.
they did turn.
Yeah.
they did see. I did see that. Yeah.
Okay.
How much is it? Have you guys looked into how much it is to rent?
I don't know. It's
Probably
haunted.
booked up for the next 4 years.
I think it's probably haunted by the Bumpus's dogs. I'd be afraid to stay.
Yeah.
We'll check that out.
Okay, we should wrap this up. This is
We should.
Let's wrap it up,
All
guys.
right.
Always a pleasure.
always
Yes.
a pleasure.
We'll see you
Thank
next
you.
week. All right.
Thanks to
Bye,
everybody
everyone.
who listened to this long. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're still
You win a
awake.
prize.
Sorry, you're
I
still
don't know what it
awake.
is
Think
yet,
pleasant
but-
thoughts. Count sheep. Do something. Sorry, you're still awake. It's all right. It's not that close to work.
Bye.
Oh no. Oh, crazy. My throat.